All right, guys, it's time. The fastest guys in the game on PlayStation 4 on MXvsATV All Out, about to duke it out in the A class for the 125 Dream Race on MXvsATV All Out, hosted by MXO Sports, presented by Vital MX. It is time to get the A class underway. Just under a minute and 20 seconds to go before the Heat 1 gate drops. I could go through this heat and I could give you a couple guys that, to look out for. Expect them to, win the heat and maybe win some motos in the mains, but to be honest, any one of them could very well win a moto if all goes right for them. There's guys like M. Hughes, who came from the B class at the Loretta Lynn's Online Championships, stepped it up a ton. Definitely a guy to look out for, obviously, here in the A class. Omar Johnson, not enough can be said about him. He's basically the pioneer of the 125 in this game. He definitely is going to be the man of the hour. He is the guy to beat. Omar Johnson, look out for him. He is going to be tough. Brody making his return out of Australia. Could be a solid rider. Juicy J in the house. Thug_Bobes. That is the brother of Omar Johnson. Both of those guys have been practicing over the course of the last 2 weeks, trying to step up their game and make it happen here in the A class. Look out for both of them. Menichetti coming up from the B class, getting bumped. He is your third fastest qualifier. Looking solid, so look for him to be a podium contender. Rowell aboard that Husqvarna. He's on a MXO Husqvarna ride. Another solid rider here in Heat 1. There's a couple more guys I didn't get to. I'm going to try and give a little brief overview of each guy that I can, to give you guys a quick overview of the format of this race. Each heat in the A class is going to be 8 laps, 5 players advance. LCQ will be 5 laps, 2 players, and then Moto 1 and Moto 2 are going to be 15 laps each. But right now the focus is Heat 1, 8 laps, a little bit longer than all the other classes C and D, so we'll see who can take it away. Spectate Omar off the start. Rough jump for Omar Johnson, getting swarmed up a little bit. But it looks like it's going to work out in his favor going into that first corner. Not too bad of a start for him. Got that number 1 for a reason. He is the man to beat here in this A class. Board that 125, the pioneer of that bike in this game. His brother, Sarah Ravencroft, over on the Xbox side. Actually another solid 125 rider over there. So the whole family just kicking it on these 125s. Looks like Junior Spirit, I forgot about him, didn't really get a chance to talk about him, but this is one of Spirit's favorite tracks. Been practicing over the course of the last 2 weeks, and definitely is going to be a rider that'll challenge for a moto win. But like I said before, Omar Johnson, the man to beat, the pioneer of the 125, already leading the way. That man's going to be tough to beat all day. But it looks like Junior Spirit and M. Hughes already still sticking with it. Spirit gotten back around Omar. Hughes just behind Omar, so we'll have to see how that plays out. We're going to take a look back. 5 riders transfer on, and your third fastest qualifier, Menichetti, already having trouble back in 9th place here in Heat 1. Juicy J 7th, followed by Pulsify. Spirit still out front, followed by Omar Johnson. Hughes in 3rd. Brody 4th. Bobes 7th. Or not 7th. Bobes is number 11. Bobes is taking that spot away from Brody. going to have to get Brody to change that number to number 9 once this is over. But yeah, Brody's holding down that 5th and final transfer spot here in Heat 1. Just in front of him is Bobes, and just in front of Bobes is M. Hughes. We'll take a look where 6th place is and see how close they are to that transfer spot. Juicy J in 7th. Metachetti still struggling back in 9th. Omar back out front, trying to pull away and make a statement here in Heat 1 against the rest of this field. Raul. Raul in 6th. Just slightly behind Brody. We'll see if Raul can push forward and take over that final transfer spot. Plenty of time to go. They're only on lap 2 right now, so we'll check back in with Raul shortly. See if he can take that final transfer spot. Omar Johnson out front, leading the way. The man to beat today, Omar Johnson. Chetty has made his way around Pulsify. Looks like we got about a 4-way battle for 6th. Just in front of these 3 guys right here is Raul, and just in front of them is Bobes. So I think Brody has just gotten back around Bobes, so Bobes is going to have to really push if he wants to stick with that 5th and final transfer spot. But Brody making moves. Brody making his way around M. Hughes. M. Hughes now in 4th, Brody in 3rd. So both guys looking super fast. M. Hughes has got an interesting style. He'll whip and stuff, but he's smooth. He doesn't go for crazy lines. He doesn't try and make crazy passes. He'll just wait for it. He'll just let it all play out. Smooth rider. Brody made a mistake, and there goes Hughes right around him. So Hughes takes over that 3rd place spot. Back. I think I already said that Hughes competed in the Loretta Lynn's Online Championship in the B class. Ended up 6th at the Loretta Lynn's Online Championship. So now sitting 3rd place here in Heat 1 of the A class. You can obviously see that he has stepped it up a ton. So big props to him. 4th place, Brody. Tin Man sitting on the line. Bobes in that 5th and final transfer spot. I think he still has a pretty solid gap over 6th place. We'll take a look at Raul and the rest of the guys behind him. Actually, it doesn't look like Raul and the rest of the crew are too far behind Bobes, so Bobes very well might have his hands full here shortly if he does not stay smooth. Raul ripping through those rollers. Eyes set on Bobes, and it looks like even the rider in front of Bobes. So Raul got 2 guys in front of him. That's double the chance of getting into a transfer spot. So Raul plays his cards right. He's going to be looking super solid to get into those main motos for sure. It's like Bobes and Brody battling back and forth. Those 2 battling back and forth is going to cause each of them to, make some mistakes. They're going to be bouncing off each other just like Bobes just did, and that's going to allow Raul to come into the screen. So we'll see how this plays out after Bobes just took a little bit of a digger. I thought that Raul would have been a little closer, but maybe Raul made a mistake as well. Brody in 4th, Hughes 3rd. Battle going on between Spirit and Omar. We're going to take a look at these guys for a little bit. Solid riding going on between the 2. Spirit making a solid challenge for Omar here in Heat 1. It'll be very interesting to see in the main motos how these two riders play out with each other. Maybe Spirit takes some moto wins. He's your 5th fastest qualifier here in the A class, so obviously no slouch. Definitely someone to look out for. Pulsify sitting in 9th place. Juicy J 8th. Just in front of Juicy J, I believe that's Menichetti. Still struggling a little bit. Menichetti's your 3rd fastest qualifier, so you expect him to be doing a little bit better than he is now, but I know he had a rough start, so like I was saying earlier, it's obviously like getting a start's like half the battle, you know, so if you crash off the start, you get bumped around, you're gonna have a tough ride, so honestly, no surprise that Menichetti's having troubles after the start that he had. We'll see if he ends up going to the LCQ, if he can make his way in there and possibly get a better start. But definitely not the ride that he's been wanting to have. Him and Juicy J having a little bit of a battle for 7th place. Omar in 1st. Looks like he's gotten a little bit away from Spirit. Omar coming through in 1st, followed by Spirit 2.7 seconds behind him. And both of those riders have a pretty solid gap over the rest of the crew. 3rd place has not even came through yet, and he's not going to. Raul still in 6th. Thug Bobes looks like he's made his way around Brody, I believe. We'll have to take a look at that. Brody in 5th. Just in front of Brody is Thug Bobes, and just behind Brody is Raul. So Raul, Eye of the Tiger, continuing to keep his eyes set on that 5th and final transfer spot. Going to try and pull the trigger as the heat race comes to a conclusion here shortly. Bobes, big mistake that's going to allow Brody to go around him. I want to take a look at Raul real quick and see how close he has got to these two riders. Raul in 6th. Having a very solid ride, just can't make his way into that 5th place spot. Both riders right in front of him. He's got a great opportunity to make a pass, but he's going to need a little bit of help from these two guys. Maybe a couple mistakes, maybe some crashes, and it looks like the rider in front of him did just case the tabletop. So that's going to allow Raul to get just slightly closer to that final transfer spot. Off the track that rider goes, nearly crashing. Omar coming back through the finish line, continuing to lead Heat 1, followed by Spirit. Lost a little bit more time, but still holding down the 2nd place spot. Raul. Can Raul do it? On the back fender of Bobes, Raul wants it bad. He's got to do it if he wants to go straight into the main modes and save himself some stress. Because honestly, if he goes to the LCQ, it's not going to be too much easier. Oh, big crash by Raul. Came together with Bobes, and that's going to allow Bobes to open up a gap. And now Juicy has made the pass on Raul. But like I was saying, you know, you'd think that going to the LCQ would be like a little bit slower guys, but you know, here in the A class, the LCQ is not going to be any easier than these heats. So, got to get in through the heats if you want to save yourself a load of stress. Raul was looking to do that, but big crash costing him. Now sitting back in 7th. Only about 2 laps left to go, so we'll see how the rest of this race plays out. Brody in 4th, still having a solid ride. Looking good out there. We're going to have to notify Brody and Raul to change their numbers, so we'll get on that shortly. Omar coming back through the finish line in 1st. Spirit continuing to hold down the 2nd place spot, having a pretty consistent race. Hughes in 3rd. Take a look back. Brody 4th. Bobes in 5th, and just behind him is Juicy J. Trying to push forward. Bobes 5th. Try and take a look and see how far Juicy J is behind Bobes. Looks like they got a little bit of a gap. It's gonna be tough for Juicy to make that pass this late in the race, you know, unless a big mistake comes from those guys. Juicy J flying up the Monza wall, and I believe that's Omar gonna take this Heat 1 win. Juicy J, we're gonna focus on, oh, big mistake. That's gonna allow Juicy J to get right back up on the back end of the number 7 of Brody. Brody has his hands full here in the final little bit of this lap here in the Heat 1. Juicy J trying to take it. Nearly does, but Brody sticking it to him. Can Brody hold on to it here with a second left? I think he did. We're going to have to take a look at this leaderboard to see who took that 5th and final transfer spot. Looks like Omar Johnson with the win. Second is Spirit. Hughes, 3rd. Bobes, 4th. And Brody did end up taking that 5th and final transfer spot, just edging out Juicy J after some costly mistakes. Juicy, Menichetti, Raul, and Pulsify all going to have to go try their hand at the LCQ. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back for Heat 2 of this A-Class here at the 125 Dream Race. Guys, we're back. MX versus ATV All Out 125 Dream Race hosted by MXO Sports, presented by Vital MX. We got another heat race coming up, Heat 2. It's going to be a burner. Let's take a look. We got Moto Patrol, MXO, Husqvarna rider, qualified 6th. Definitely one of the more consistent, solid riders in this A-class field. T. Kratz, qualified 18th. He also competed at the Loretta Lynn's Online Championship. Back for the 125 Dream Race. Good to have him back. Thank you to T. Kratz for getting out here, having fun, and competing. FTE Moto, another top guy on the game here on the PS4 side. In the A-class, second fastest qualifier, ran a 131.99. He is another rider who competed at the Loretta Lynn's Online Championship. I believe he got 6th, maybe, in the A-class. Overall, pretty solid rider. Looking to challenge Omar for some moto wins after he gets through these heats. Solid if he does. Definitely going to be a rider to look out for. Potsy, another guy, moved himself up from the B class after the Loretta Lynn's Online Championship, so good to have Potsy here. And Young Boink. I'm sure a lot of you recognize the name Young Boink. 1-1-1 perfect day at the Loretta Lynn's Online Championship. One of the fastest guys in this game, without a doubt. We've been able to catch up with Boink a little bit. He's been working a lot. You can notice that you can notice the his qualifying number is 4. It just kind of goes to show, like, you know, when you're out of the game for so long, you don't really get to grind and practice like you usually do. You can kind of lose some of that that power that you have. So Young Boink, always a fast rider, qualified 4th, but still definitely a contender for a moto win despite that. So keep a lookout for him. Possibly taking this Heat 2 win and possibly taking some moto wins later on. But we'll have to stay tuned for that. 8-lap qualifier. 5 guys move on. The rest are going to have to go to the LCQ. So it looks like T. Kratz, a couple guys, FTE. FTE looks like my guy. I usually run the number 2 with the Yamaha, so I thought I was on the line for a second. But we're going to be spectating Taze off the start, another solid rider. Stepping it up, I believe he was in the B class at Loretta Lynn's. He ended up getting the Moto 1 win, bumping himself up to the A class, so Taze has definitely stepped it up a ton. Out here trying to prove himself in the A class against all these top guys. I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem for him. Definitely a solid rider, and there's Moto Patrol coming into the screen in 3rd. But like I was saying, FTE Moto, your second fastest qualifier. Gonna be one of the top guys to beat. But look at Taze. Trying to make the pass around the outside, and he nearly does. But FTE holding it down. Moto Patrol 3rd. Young Boink in 6th. So, their 4th fastest qualifier. And one of the top guys in this A-class. Now sitting outside of a transfer spot here on lap 1. No sweat though, you know. Plenty of time to make it up. Got plenty of guys right in front of him. So, Young Boink sitting in 6th. KVT 272 is your 14th fastest qualifier. He is an MXO Suzuki rider. MXO Suzuki is the team that I manage. So, shout out to KVT. Hope to see him do super good today. Possibly make it in straight from these heats, but it looks like he's going to make a big mistake binding himself with T. Kratz. But KVT moves his way into that 5th place final transfer spot, but T. Kratz close behind. Going to try and challenge back. Potsy in 7th. Taze 2nd. Looks like FTE Moto has already opened up a 2-second gap here in Heat 2 of the A class, so gonna be tough to find him and catch him once he gets a clear track ahead of himself. Super fast guy. Gonna be tough. Take a look back again. Potsy in 7th. Observer holding it down on the side of the track. T. Kratz in 6th. Looks like KVT, my boy on MXO Suzuki, pulling a little bit away from T-Kratz, trying to hold down that 5th place and final transfer spot. Wants to save himself some stress and get straight into those main motos. KVT 272, now the number 14 aboard that Yamaha, having a solid ride thus far here on lap 2. Just in front of KVT, I believe that is still Young Boink. So right now, Young Boink just really trying to get some practice in. You know, he's kind of been not, like I said, not able to play the game as often as he usually would. So really, main focus for Boink right now, just stay consistent, hit your lines, you know, get some practice in, and come out firing in the main motos, you know. Main motos are going to be 15 laps each, so he's going to have plenty of time to make stuff happen. Just got to find your flow right now. That's going to be the biggest thing for Boink here in this heat race. He's got his eyes set. Oh, Young Boink hits the pole, going to go down. That's going to allow KVT to go around him. Young Boink now in 5th place. No sweat though, still inside of the transfer spots. Just got to focus on using this opportunity to find your flow, get back in the swing of things. He's kind of been out of the game for a little bit, so keep an eye on Boink up there. Moto Patrol MXO Husky rider, solid ride out front, and well, maybe not out front, but inside that 3rd place spot. So all the way from Germany. How about that? I believe he's about 7 hours ahead. So I'm Central Time. It's about 11 p.m. for him right now, 11:30. So shout out to Moto Patrol for sticking it out and joining us here at the 125 Dream Race. Going up the Monza wall, having a solid ride so far here in Heat 2 in that 3rd place position. 5th, Young Boink still. KVT in 4th. Kratz in 6th. How far is Kratz behind Boink? Kratz landing off the launch pad. And it looks like Young Boink has made the pass back on KVT, so Young Boink giving himself a little bit of leeway here in Heat 2. Maybe even finding that flow that I was talking about. Throwing it backwards. Young Boink solid over that leap. We're going to take a look towards the front, get our boy FTE some screen time with Taze Tomater, because we got a big battle heating up for this Heat 2 win. Both riders want to take it home, get some bragging rights. It looks like Taze might have the momentum, but FTE is going to hold it down here in Heat 2. Taze. Oh, Taze, big mistake. Looks like he's going to hit the back tire of FTE, but FTE is going to go flying too. Both riders don't even make the triple. But Taze is going to be the one that takes over that 1st place spot. What a ride so far by Taze. The 10th fastest qualifier, bumping himself up from the B class. Been riding solid all week, practicing with us. Look at him now. Out front, leading this Heat 2 against some of the fastest guys in this game, but he's going to hit the banner. That's going to allow FTE to go back around him. Oh, FTE gets the reset. That's going to allow Moto Patrol to move up towards the front, towards these guys. Heck, let's see Moto Patrol get a heat win. It'll be solid. MXO Husky on top, maybe? Looks like Taze Tomater. He is the MXO KTM manager. FTE Moto is a rider for the MXO Yamaha team. And Moto Patrol is on the MXO Husky just behind them. So obviously a bunch of super fast guys, a bunch of reputable guys out here leading the way in Heat 2. And it looks like number 4 of Young Boink has also closed the gap ever so slightly. Only about 2.2 seconds behind the leader. FTE Moto and Taze battling it out has caused Young Boink to gain some time. Looks like Young Boink might be finding that flow that he needs. KVT still holding on the 5th place spot. Love to see that. My boy on the MXO Suzuki team trying to find his way straight into the main motos. And he's right behind Moto Patrol, so possibly make the pass on the MXO Husky rider. Love to see that too. But it looks like he's going to, maybe. Going around that sand sweeper, down this braking bump. Oh, KVT OTB, over the bars he goes. Still holding down the 5th place spot though. Love to see it. Young Boink finding that flow. All about the flow. Young Boink going up the Monza wall in 2nd. Finding his feet again. Having a solid ride so far. Almost hits the banner and gets caught up. I believe. Who's out front? Is that FTE? FTE out front. So what happened to Taze? Taze should be in 3rd. There he is. Right on the back fender, Young Boink. So solid battles going on between all these guys. Ooh, Taze with a nice smooth line through that corner. Gonna have the momentum and make the pass on Boink going through the leap. But right now, looks like FTE still holding down that 1st place spot, 2.8 seconds behind, and Taze is gonna slingshot Young Boink off the side of the track. Tough go, but it shouldn't mess with them too much. T-Krat's in 6th. It looks like he's going to be quite a bit back on the top 5. It's going to be tough for him to get into a transfer spot. KVT holding it down in 5th place still. Motor Patrol trying to make a pass on Young Boink. Can he do it? Maybe. Young Boink, Huckabuck. Braking bumps are huge. Big mistake by Boink. Was up in 2nd. Some costly mistakes. Caused him to drop 2 positions. Like, no sweat though. Still looking good. Fastest riders in the game on the PS4 side. Duking it out. Having some fun here. It's been a while since we've had a tournament going, so I think these guys are pretty stoked to be able to do something competitive again. So, yeah. Motor Patrol hitting that rut pretty nice. Young Boink trying to bounce back. FTE out front. We'll see what the gap is between him and Taze when they come through. Should be their last lap. Going on the last lap, FTE Moto leading the way. 4 seconds back is the number 10 of Taze, followed by Motor Patrol in 3rd and Young Boink in 4th. Take a look back at him when this lap starts to come to a conclusion. But T-Krat's in 6th, KVT 5th. How far back is KVT from Boink? Not too far. Ooh, bouncing off that barrier. But it looks, obviously, KVT doesn't need to get that 4th place position, top 5 transfer. But it would feel pretty good for KVT to steal that position away and have a little bragging rights, getting that over one of the fastest guys in the game, Young Boink. But either way, all riders having a solid go here in Heat 2. And KVT, that's the 2nd time I've seen him OTB down that hill. Not going to matter too much, though, as he's still holding it down in 5th. It's like Young Boink makes his way past Motor Patrol. Just trying to put down some solid laps. Have fun with it. Looking good aboard that Yamaha. FTE Moto on his way to a Heat 2 win, throwing it over the lead. Okay, now this is the last lap. FTE Moto now on the last lap. This is lap 8. Doesn't look like the lead has changed much between him and Taze over the course of that last lap. However, Young Boink might be able to make his way into that 2nd place spot and put the MXO Yamaha Team 1 and 2 here in Heat 2. Potsy having some troubles back in 7th. Kratz still holding down 6th place. So it looks like Potsy and T-Kratz both going to have to try their hand at the LCQ coming up shortly. KVT in 5th. Boink in 3rd. How far behind is he from Taze? Not too far. Taze makes a mistake. He could take 2nd. Obviously does not matter as the top 5 transfer on. But, Young Boink definitely wants to be up there with his teammate. Both riders going up the Mons wall. Boink inching closer and closer. Can he do it? Can he do it? Bouncing out through that corner just a little bit. Going to cost him some time. But it looks like FTE Moto, the number 2, going to take that Heat 2 win. Very solid ride by him. Followed by... Oh! I'm not sure who took second. We'll have to check that out once the leaderboard pops up. Potsy down. He's hurting. Need to get a asterisk medical crew out there for Potsy. T-Krat's in 6th. But KVT looks like he's going to take that 5th and final transfer spot. Interested to see what happened between Taze and Blank, who got that 2nd overall. But looks like FTE is going to take the Heat 2 win, followed by Taze, just edging out Young Boink by about 7/100ths of a second. And Moto Patrol 4th, and KVT rounding out that top 5. T-Krats and Potsy going to have to go to the LCQ. So we'll be right back with that shortly. Stay tuned, and we'll get that going. Alright guys, welcome back to the MX vs ATV 125 Dream Race, hosted by MXO Sports and presented by Vital MX. We are just under a minute and a half away from getting this A-Class LCQ on the PS4 side of the championship underway. Honestly, this LCQ, we take 2 riders. It's no, it's not 4 laps. It is 5 laps. Take 2 riders, and honestly, I could say that any one of these guys could take those 2 transfer spots. So you can expect it to be a pretty exciting race. I believe it was Raul who just fell short in Heat 1, or maybe Heat 2. It was Heat 2. Also look out for Menichetti. He's your 3rd fastest qualifier. Did not end up making it, obviously, through his heat. So look out for him to possibly try get that whole shot and check out here in this LCQ. But Juicy J also had a solid ride. All these guys had pretty solid rides, so it's honestly tough to say who is going to take it. So I guess we're just going to have to watch and find out. 5 laps, 2 guys move on to the main motos. 20 seconds away, and we will get after it. Alright, 30-second board is up, about to go sideways, and this LCQ is going to get underway. We're going to spectate T. Kratz off the start, see how he goes. Raul with a good jump. Pulsify, pretty good jump as well. Not sure what happened to Menichetti. Menichetti in 6th right now, making his way past Kratz. So, looks like right now we got Juicy J and Raul out front, but I think Raul might have just hit the banner, so gonna fall back a couple positions. Menichetti now in 2nd, Raul making the pass, going inside, Menichetti outside. Meanwhile, Juicy J out front and already opening up a pretty big gap. He does not want to mess around with these guys. He is on his way to just getting out and being done with it. Raul looks like he might have bumped Menichetti off of the track. That's going to allow Pulsify to come up to the side and maybe make a pass on him. Menichetti slightly going off the track. Raul resetting and getting passed by both Menichetti and Pulsify. Big battle going on for this second place and final transfer spot. Looks like we got about a three-way, maybe four-way battle depending on who is behind. So we've got some slight lag going on in the game. But Pulsify, 17, aboard that Yamaha, now holding down that second place spot. Looking good, but hits the banner. Costly mistake by Pulsify. That's going to allow Raul to get around him and Menichetti. Menichetti already has about a second gap on those guys just for making a slight mistake. Oh, and Raul's going to hit Pulsify and launch him off the track. Lap 2 out of 5 in this LCQ. Can Raul catch up to Menichetti and make the pass on him for that final transfer spot? Meanwhile, Juicy J is nowhere to be seen. He is gone. Ooh, big mistake. Menichetti crashes. Raul now takes over the second place position. Juicy J still checked out. Gonna focus on this second place spot and see if anything forms. But Raul feeling confident throwing that knack. See if he can hold it down. A little bit of a mistake. Gonna have to air out the leap. Just barely making it over. Raul in second, about 2 seconds ahead of Menichetti on lap 3 now of 5. Raul, big mistake, gonna lose a little bit of time here sliding out. 4th place is Pulsify, the T-Crats just behind him. And it looks like we got a battle heating up between Menichetti and Raul for that second place spot. Raul better not throw any more knack-knacks or he's going to be in some trouble. Menichetti hot on his trail right now. Raul off the track. Where is Menichetti? Right there. Hits Raul. Both riders inside-outside. Who's going to get to this corner first? Raul trying to stick it to him. That's going to put Menichetti off the track. Raul getting lucky there, still holding down the second place spot. Raul, the MXO Husky rider, hitting the banner, but coming from getting the game back in about May, trying to compete in Loretta Lynn's online championship. He did end up qualifying, however, he did not make it to the main motos. In the C class, so Raul now here in the A class, you can see that obviously he stepped it up a ton, gotten so much faster since then, big improvements made. That's why he's on that MXO Husky ride. Looking good in second. He's got about 4.5 seconds on Menichetti, so if he can keep it up for the next 2 laps, he's going to be looking pretty solid to get into these main motos. Number 13 of Raul. Take a look at Juicy J. Oh, it looks like Pulsify's in third. Oh, smokes the banner. Menichetti and Kratz both about to go around Pulsify. 3-way battle for third, but it does not matter because only second place and forward is going to get you in. And Raul looks like he's got a pretty solid gap. But the biggest gap of all is Juicy J on the rest of the pack. Going over the launch pad, throwing a nice little whip for the fans. Juicy J got a solid start at the beginning of this moto. Did not want to mess around with the rest of these guys. Now currently checked out from the rest of the group, no problems there. Just got to get through the next lap and a quarter, and he's going to be moving on to the main motos, looking good. One more lap for Juicy J, and he will be well on his way to the main motos. Meanwhile, we're going to take a look back. It looks like T-Kratz in 4th, Pulsify 5th, Potsy in 6th, Tin holding it down on the starting line, Raul in 2nd. Doesn't look like anybody is anywhere close to Raul in 3rd. So as long as Raul stays consistent, no mistakes, no crashes, he's going to be looking pretty good here on this last lap of the LCQ. Take a look at Juicy J, our LCQ leader as of currently. Very minimal mistakes by Juicy J during this LCQ. Definitely was a solid factor in keeping him out front. Just a few short corners away from taking this LCQ win and moving forward. Looking pretty good aboard that KTM. Juicy J 13. Sky in the lead. And it looks like Juicy J, LCQ winner, moving on to the main motos. Manichetti in 3rd. Not going to be enough, it looks like, because Raul is going to take 2nd place here in the LCQ. We're going to take another quick break. We're going to get these guys into the main motos, and then we will be back for Moto 1 of the MXvsATV 125 Dream Race, hosted by MXO Sports, presented by Vitals. So stay tuned, and we will be right back. Stage is set. A minute and 42 seconds to go before 12 of the fastest riders on the PS4 side of this game hit the track and battle it out here at the 125 Dream Race at Redbud on the game MX vs. ATV All Out. We are about to get after it. Juicy J making it in through the LCQ. Young Boink trying to find his flow. Have a solid ride here in Moto 1 and look for a Moto 1 win. My boy KBT on MXvsATV, look for a solid ride out of him. M. Hughes, also MXvsATV rider. Look to see top 3, top 5 out of him, hopefully. Definitely got to look out for. But Omar Johnson, the man of the hour. Number 1 on his bike, number 1 on his back. Pioneer of the 125 in this game. The man to beat. Can anybody challenge this man? If anybody's going to do it, it's going to have to be FTE, Taze. Maybe Junior Spirit, Young Boink, M. Hughes. Those are going to be my picks for the guys to challenge him. It's going to be tough. 15 laps, 2 15-lappers. Can anybody stop him? Well, we're about 23 seconds away from finding out. Omar Johnson, the man to beat. Can anybody do it? FTE Moto, second fastest qualifier. Very well could take away a Moto win. Maybe an overall. Taze had a solid ride in his heat. Possibly a top 5 rider here in Moto 1. Brother of Omar Johnson, Thug Bobes. All these riders so fast, it's hard to say exactly where any of them could end up. Because without a start, it's going to be tough. Second board is up. A-Class is about to drop the gate. Who are we going to be spectating? It looks like none other than Omar Johnson on the outside. Can he sweep? Oh, magnificent start by Omar. Great jump. Bumped out a little bit. Junior Spirit and FTE. Omar all over the place. So many riders. He's getting swallowed up. If he does not make it out, it's going to be so tough to get back up towards the front. Omar on the outside gate had a great jump, but just getting edged out and bumped around by a couple riders in the field. Taze Tomater in 5th. FTE, Heat 2 winner, now in 9th. So tough to catch up. It's going to be so tough. Juicy J did not leave the gate. Interesting move. M. Hughes getting swallowed up, but who is out front? My boy KBT in 4th. Junior Spirit out front, the number 5. Excellent start by Junior Spirit on that whole shot. Now opening up a slight gap while everybody gets bumped around. Trying to take this Moto 1 win, but big mistake by Spirit. 180, oh, Spirit! Oh no, big costly mistake by Spirit, and I believe that is now Omar Johnson out front. That is not the guy you want out front right now. Lap 1 and he's already out front. You're going to have some troubles trying to catch him. Because now Omar Johnson, your fastest qualifier, pioneer of the 125, has a clear track ahead of him. And it's going to be tough to catch him. The number 5 was Spirit in 2nd, followed by Young Boink in 3rd. Number 13 is Rowell. So far so good by Rowell in 4th. Omar Johnson leading the way, but let's take a look back at Taze in 5th, followed by KBT and FTE Moto. M. Hughes in 7th. Getting bumped around all over the place. KBT in 6th. Junior Spirit in 3rd, battling it out with Young Boink. And Omar Johnson still in sight. Not pulling away just yet. Junior Spirit does not want to let that happen. Redbud is Spirit's favorite track. I'm going to guess that when we announced this event that he was pretty happy that we were holding it on this track. So, looking pretty good out here in second. I believe he took out Young Boink going up the Monza wall, so a little bit of tough luck for Boink. We'll see if he can bounce back and make his way back inside the top 3. Can Junior Spirit catch up to Omar Johnson? KBT in 6th, followed by M. Hughes 107. Just in front of KBT is Taze. Coming through the finish line is Omar out front, followed by Spirit. Then the number 4 Boink, followed by the number 13 of Rowell, still holding down that 4th place spot, followed by the number 10 of Taze. That is your top 5. We are now on lap 3 of 15. M. Hughes still in 7th. Bunch of guys just in front of him. It looks like Taze is gonna go down, losing that spot. M. Hughes and KBT 5th and 6th right now. KBT in 5th. 2nd place, Young Boink and Spirit still battling it out. Slight mistake by Boink, but still going to make that inside line. Meanwhile, Omar Johnson, nowhere to be seen. Oh, another big mistake by Young Boink, crashing into that banner. Junior Spirit 2nd, Young Boink 3rd, but it looks like Rowell, the MXO Husky rider, in 4th, hanging in there, looking pretty solid. That's what a start can do for you. Rowell had to go to the LCQ, got 2nd in the LCQ, gets a start here in Moto 1, and now he's running inside the top 5. So, like I was saying before, getting a start's half the battle, especially in a stacked class like this, with all these top guys. Omar Johnson, 6.8 seconds ahead of Junior Spirit, followed by Young Boink, and then the number 13 of Rowell in 4th. Young Boink gonna bounce off that pole, continuing to make silly mistakes, but I believe that just comes from being off of the game for so long. Nonetheless, still riding pretty solid in 3rd. Now on lap 4 of 15. Brother of Omar Johnson, Thug Bobe, sitting in 7th. Just in front of him is M. Hughes. Brody 7 out of Australia. He is the number 9, sitting in 11th. Tough race so far for Brody, and the bad luck continues as he flies off and hits the banner. MXO Husky rider Moto Patrol in 10th, was 3rd in his heat, having a tough go here in Moto 1. How about Rowell though? Solid ride. Lap 4 of 15, Rowell holding down the 4th place position. Omar Johnson hitting his line, silky smooth, throwing it over the leap. Definitely going to need some big crashes, big mistakes out of him if anybody wants to catch him. Going to be super tough as he's continuing to open up even more of a gap every single lap. And it looks like 2nd place hasn't even come through the finish line yet, so yeah, his lap, or his gap is pretty huge already. Junior Spirit in 2nd. Lap 5 of 15. Omar Johnson already going up that triple, and Junior Spirit just landing off of the step down ski jump. As of now, it looks like it's going to be a battle for 2nd, with Spirit holding that position down. KBT falling back a little bit, now sitting in 10th place, trying to make a pass on Moto Patrol, who is in 9th. Both riders whipping over that uphill triple. continuing the battle on. Spirit in second. Young Boink hot on his fender in third. Trying to make it work, trying to stay consistent. Oh, Spirit, big reset. That'll allow Young Boink to go right around him. Nice whip by Boink going over that tabletop. Young Boink in second. Not close enough to Omar to even register a split coming through the finish line. Doug Bobes inside the top 5. Solid ride so far. Just in front of him, I believe, is MXvs 107. Obviously super easy to point out with that super blue gear, part of that Canadian Blue Crew. But yeah, looks like Bobes fell off a little bit, so he's now in 6th. Just in front of him, I believe, is Taze. Spirit in 3rd. Mistake going through the rollers costed him that position, so he's now in 3rd. Young Boink in 2nd, just in front of him. KBT in 9th. Where's Raul? MXvs holding on the 4th place spot. MXvs had a tough start at the beginning of this moto, but obviously put his head down and pushed forward. Now sitting inside the top 5 in that 4th place spot, looking super good so far. Almost halfway through this moto, so we'll continue to check back in with him and see if he makes any progress towards Junior Spirit or Boink. But it looks like Spirit's just in front of him, so very possible within the next lap or two, if he stays consistent, that he is going to continue to gain some ground on Spirit. Keep looking back. FTE Moto in 7th. One of the fastest guys in this A-Class, having some tough luck here in Moto 1. Second fastest qualifier, number 2 on his back, trying to push forward and take as many positions as he can. And Moto Patrol nearly coming through the finish line side by side. Does not want to give up another position in Moto Patrol. He's got to keep moving forward if he wants to finish higher in these standings once all is said and done after Moto 2. Taze in 5th, eyes set on MXvs. Continuing to try and look for Raul. I'm not exactly sure where he is, and looks like I found him. So Raul now having a pretty tough race, was sitting in 4th place, now in 11th. Not sure what happened to him, just some costly mistakes. Obviously, going to be a little frustrated after this one, but got to regroup, come back from Moto 2 and make it happen. So I believe we're on lap 7 of 15. Omar Johnson in first, ripping through them rollers. Taze Tomater made the pass on MXvs, now in 4th. Not sure what happened here as we weren't looking at him. Possibly a mistake. Maybe Taze just ripping right now. Right now, Taze is taking over that 4th place spot. And it looks like, oh, Taze looks like he got cross-rutted a little bit and stuffed that front end. But as they come to the finish, it's Omar followed by Boink, then Junior Spirit in 3rd. Hughes in 4th. 10 is going to be Taze in 5th. And if you notice as they come through the finish line, that split, Boink now is about 9.67 seconds behind Omar. Before it wasn't even showing up, so I believe Boink is catching Omar ever so slightly. They are now on lap 8 of 15. Taze going to fly off the track. That's going to be a rough go. FTE now in 6th has made his way around Bobes, trying to keep picking off positions. Bobes trying to bounce back. Both riders nearly getting launched off the track. And he's still in 4th. KBT and Raul battling it out. Husky versus the MXO Suzuki rider on the Yamaha. Battle for 10th. Junior Spirit in 3rd. It looks like he has caught up to Young Boink. Battle brewing here in the A-Class for that 2nd place position. See if Spirit can make it happen. Boink inside, Spirit outside. Both riders wheeling through them rollers. This track is destroyed right now. Spirit took a 5th place overall at the Loretta Lynn's online championship in the A-Class. It was pretty new to like the online racing back in May. So we ended up throwing him in the A-Class because of how fast he was. Ended up getting 5th. And now he's here at the 125 Dream Race. Running number 5 as the 5th fastest qualifier, but sitting in 3rd here in Moto 1. So definitely some improvement out of Junior Spirit. Solid riding so far. Still in 4th. Push forward super hard. Tough start at the beginning of the moto. He's back in about 7th or 8th, but put his head down, and now he's sitting in 4th place. So nothing to be too upset about here. Not sure exactly who's right in front of him. That might be Spirit. I don't believe it's a lapper. So it looks like Hughes is continuing to pick off some time here as the moto progresses. A couple more mistakes out of that 3rd place rider, and Hughes is going to be all over him. FTE Moto making some mistakes, bouncing off the side of the track, but not too far behind Taze or M. Hughes. Still plenty of time to go as we get onto this 9th lap out of 15. Ooh. FTE bounce off that bend, is going to lose a position to Moto Patrol. Got to be super frustrating for FTE Moto. Omar Johnson, an OG of MXvsATV All Out, pioneer of the 125 before anybody ever even considered riding the thing. He had it mastered. 6 laps to go. Omar Johnson leading the way. No problems here so far for him. Throwing it over the launch pad. Let's take a look back. Taze still holding down 5th. FTE Moto, the struggle continues in 7th. Looks like Thug Bobes has made his way near FTE. FTE's got to be careful, got to minimize the mistakes if he wants to even stay in 7th as of now. Track looks so beat up, it looks like FTE is trying to take some different lines, try and find that smooth line. A little bit easier said than done though. Junior Spirit 3rd. How far behind is he from young Boink? Continuing to keep Boink in his sights, but it doesn't seem like the gap has been minimized at all between the two. I'm interested in knowing how far M. Hughes is behind Junior Spirit, and it doesn't look like he's that far behind. So, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, all within probably about 5 seconds or so of each other. All it takes is one big mistake, another crash for the rider behind you to be right on your fender. You gotta stay as smooth as possible. Looks like FTE has made his way into 6th. Taze in 5th. Everybody's kind of spread out. There's not much going on. Everybody's just riding their own race. Omar out front, killing it as expected. Raul in 11th, was in 4th at the beginning of the moto. Obviously struggling a little bit, put him back there. Moto Patrol trying to make the pass back on FTE. I guess there's some battles going on. It looks like Brody, I believe Brody was back in 11th at one point, now made his way up into 8th. So Brody trying to stay positive, trying to stay smooth and keep pushing forward. Looks like Brody and Thug Bobes getting closer and closer to FT and Motor Patrol. Could have a 4-way battle going on for 6th place. Ooh, Brody over the bars. Too much speed going into that corner. Causes a big crash for Brody. Boeing still in 2nd place. You know Boeing's going to want to be out front. But can't be too upset for how little he's played over the last couple weeks. Having a solid ride. Young Boeing, the number 4 aboard the Yamaha. Like I've been talking about, finding that flow. Maybe second moto he comes back, who knows, and grabs that whole shot and moves his way onto a moto win in the overall. Nearly getting caught up in that banner though. Just missing it. Spirit about 3 to 4 seconds behind Boeing. Having a solid ride in that podium spot. We're going to take a look back at some of the battles we were seeing before. M. Hughes in 5th, so it looks like he has lost that 4th place spot to Taze. FTE now in 6th. Just in front of him looks like Moto Patrol. So Taze is 4th. FTE is 6th. And 5th is Hughes. So it looks like Moto Patrol and FTE are lagging a little bit. It says FTE is in 6th right now. Looks like we got some game lag going on currently. Hopefully that smooths out here soon. So, not exactly sure what's going on. Raul's glitching all over FTE on Moto Patrol. Brody's lagging a little bit. Bobes. We're going to go back, take a look at Omar. Our leader currently out front, ripping right now. Basically mistake-free. This dude just hits his lines lap after lap. It's pretty interesting to watch because nobody can really ride the 125 like he can. He's been using it for so long, he's just so good on it. All about being smooth, being consistent. No problems here, though, for the number 1 on the KTM. Got swallowed up a little bit on the whole shot. Found his way very quickly into the 1st place. Never looked back, and here we are now. Omar Johnson absolutely checked out on the rest of the field. We're going to spectate Omar for another lap or so. Should be concluding this race here. Nice and smooth. Bouncing out of that inside rut just a little bit. Go back, try and find some other guys real quick, and then we'll go back to Omar. Looks like Raul in 10th, Moto Patrol 11th. Not sure what happened to Moto Patrol. Did he lag out? Moto Patrol might have position lag. We'll have to see if he is around any riders up towards the front. Brody in 8th, Bobes in 7th. Boink still holding down 2nd place, having a solid ride. Oh, but Spirit hot on his trail, trying to take over that position. Boink outside, Spirit went inside, both ripping through the rollers, but we're going to try and make our way back to Omar. Omar's going to hit the banner. Big mistake by Omar. And it looks like he's going to finish in 1st. Omar's going to take that Moto 1 win. Sorry about the quick flipping through riders, but want to try and get back to this battle. Young Boink taking 2nd place here in Moto 1. Going to have a great shot in Moto 2 to try and get that overall over Omar. Spirit in 3rd will rattle off the rest of the riders as they come through on the leaderboards here in about 5 seconds. Omar, Moto 1 winner of the A class, followed by Young Boink in 2nd. 3rd is going to be Junior Spirit, followed by Taze in 4th. 5th is going to be M. Hughes. 6th, FTE. 7th, Bobes. 8th is going to be Brody, followed by KVT in 9th. Raul 10th. 11th is Moto Patrol. Not sure what happened to Moto Patrol. I feel like his position may have lagged, but we'll have to take a look at that, maybe get some video footage. But we're going to take a quick intermission, and we'll be right back with Moto 2, so stay tuned. Alright guys, A-Class, Moto 2, minute and 40 seconds from gate drop. Omar Johnson was the expected winner, and he delivered, taking that Moto 1 win, followed by Young Boink, Junior Spirit in third. Fourth place, Taze. Fifth place, M. Hughes, followed by FTE Moto in sixth. I think the question that lies here in Moto 2 is anybody going to be able to put a stop to this man right here? Young Boink and Spirit have the speed to hang in there, but it's going to be tough unless they get a start. So, Omar Johnson, if he can get another start and get out front, going to be nearly impossible to stop him. Gotta hope that he gets swallowed up in that pack. But obviously, with the experience that he has, gonna be tough for that to happen. 40 seconds until gate drop. We'll see how it plays out. A-Class Moto 2. Riders are on the gate. 30-second boards up. Let's get after it. Who's going to rip the holy? Let's find out. Spectate Bobes off the start. Not too good of a jump for Bobes. take a look. Looks like Motor Patrol also got swallowed up. Brody in 4th. FTE and Young Boink Brody hits the banner. Someone just got thrown off the side of the track. M. Hughes now in last place. Omar Johnson, another solid start here in 3rd. Just in front of him is Taze, and I want to say that's Young Boink out front. Possibly FTE Moto, will have to check that out. KBT in 6th. Taze 2nd. Spirit, rough start alongside Hughes, now sitting in 10th. Oh, it's FTE Moto out front. FTE Moto with a very rough start in Moto 1. Constantly having troubles in the back of the pack, bouncing between 6th, 7th, 8th place because of his start. Now sitting in the number 1 position here in Moto 2 on lap 1. Definitely got the start that he wanted. And I believe that it's going to be very, very tough to pass him as long as he stays consistent here with a clear track ahead of himself. Juicy J in 8th, he had to miss Moto 1 due to accidentally switching his bike on the starting line. So he's going to go DNF and then whatever position he ends up here in Moto 2. But Young Boink struggling, got launched off the track by his teammate FTE Moto after the 2nd corner. Now sitting in 8th place. Bobes in 6th, Motor Patrol 11th. Just in front of him is M. Hughes. Number 1 of Omar Johnson in 2nd. It's tough because FTE Moto 6th in Moto 1, even if he did hold on throughout the duration of this race and win the Moto, Omar's gonna take the overall still. All the riders like Boink, who got 2nd, Spirit, who got 3rd, Taze, who got 4th, are all towards the back of the pack. So, well, I guess other than Taze is looking pretty solid for that possible 2nd overall. But Young Boink and Spirit, horrible starts. Spirit now in 7th. Going to be super tough for him to stay consistent and get towards the front of this pack. But quite possible. Looks like he's just picked off Bobes. Possibly. I'm going to switch to drone cam. I apologize for that. I went right past it. But it looks like Omar Johnson on lap 2 has already made the pass on FTE. So, going to be pretty difficult for FTE to make his way back towards Omar. Because Omar now has a clear track ahead of himself, and he is opening up a gap already. Coming through the finish line, moving on to lap 3. It is now 2.47 seconds between FTE and Omar, just after about half a lap. Oh, mistake by Omar. FTE is going to have the momentum. Get right back on that rear fender of Omar and challenge to pass back. Can he do it? Lap 3 of 15, plenty of time to go. Plenty of mistakes to be made. FTE will definitely be a little bit happier about this Moto 2, but obviously a little bit frustrated off of his Moto 1 result. Knowing that he could have done better, definitely. But that's the way it goes sometimes here in this A-Class. Stacked riders all throughout. Got to get that start if you want to have a chance at staying towards the front of the pack. And it shows. FTE, bad start, horrible start in Moto 1. Constantly bouncing between 6th, 7th, and 8th. Never could really get past anybody. Rips a whole shot here in this Moto 2 and running up front with Omar. So it's all about the start. For all those Xbox guys that are tuning in right now, if you're out there, rip a whole shot because it's going to be half the battle. You're going to be up front, clear track ahead of you, and it's going to be so much easier than trying to battle through the pack, obviously. So all the Xbox guys listening, getting ready for the race tomorrow, rip that whole shot, and you'll be fine. Looks like Spirit has made his way into 3rd. not too far behind FTE or Omar. If he stays consistent, could definitely pick off some time. Looking good, looking good. Spirit over that uphill triple. Taze in fourth. Currently sitting at a 4.4. Pretty solid ride by him. KVT in fifth. MXO Suzuki rider now in fifth place. I believe he was 9th or 10th. Possibly 10th in Moto 1. Now sitting inside the top 5. So solid ride here on lap 4 for KVT. But he goes down. Big, almost 5-way battle going on here between M. Hughes, KVT. I believe that is Brody and Thug Bobes. So big battles going on. Two riders flying off the track. Moto Patrol. Not sure what happened there. Might have lagged out. Tough to see that. M. Hughes ripping that corner. Three riders in one rut. Spirit, Junior Spirit has made his way into second. Only 6 seconds behind Omar. I'd be interested to see if he can get into first place. FTE has fallen back to fourth. I believe Taze is now just ahead of him. Not sure what happened to FTE. Must have had a huge mistake. Losing 2 positions like that in a lot of time. Juicy J in 9th. Where is Young Boink? Young Boink in 11th. Super tough race for Boink. After second in Moto 1, now sitting in 11th here in Moto 2. Definitely going to be frustrated after this one. M. Hughes just in front of Boink in 10th. Bobes in 6th, Raoul 5th. Brody 7th, followed by KVT and Juicy J. Big battles going on everywhere. MXO Husky rider Raoul in 6th. Young Boink trying to make the pass on Hughes. And it looks like he is going to make it stick. And Hughes with a nice line going through that corner. Gonna have the momentum to make the pass on Young Boink and almost KVT. Solid ride by Raoul. First moto was sitting in 4th place, ended up falling back to 11th, I believe. Having another pretty solid ride early in the moto number 2 here. We'll see if he can continue it throughout the duration or if he falls off the pace once again. But so far, having a nice solid ride here in Moto 2. Trying to make the pass on Thug Bobes, but not quite being able to make it stick. Brody in 7th, followed by Juicy J in 8th. Boink and KVT battling it out for 9th, but Boink making another mistake. Trying to make our way back towards the front of the pack. See what's going on between FTE and Taze and Spirit. FTE still in 4th. Eyes set on Taze till Mater. Nice line through that corner, super smooth. Juicy J, 7th. Young Boink still struggling in 10th. Bobes 5th. It looks like Raul's going to take it back over. Oh, Bobes is going to lose so many positions. Ooh. Both just went from like 5th to 9th in one corner. Tough. Brody's struggling a little bit in 11th right now. Rowell inside that top 5, still holding it down. Super good. Looks like MXvs just got reset. Omar Johnson. Unreal. Actually, it looks like the last lap they came through, it was about 7.2 seconds, I believe. So Spirit has definitely gained some time on Omar. Not sure if Spirit's just ripping right now or if Omar made some mistakes. Ooh, big mistake by Omar, though. That's going to be about another second off the gap between him and Spirit. Maybe even a little more. I'll try and get over to Spirit. I want to take a look and see how far behind he is. Behind Omar. Oh, Spirit absolutely railing that outside, but going so fast that he missed the inside berm. Other than Omar Johnson, obviously going first in the first moto and leading this moto right now, Junior Spirit has been the second most consistent rider here in the A-Class. Super solid so far today. Good riding all around, super consistent. Nothing to be ashamed of. And still continuing to push forward and possibly gain more time on Omar. We'll have to take a look at that split as they come through the finish. Last time, I want to say it was about 5.7 seconds. It looks like it's going to be 4.79. So, Spirit continuing to close that gap ever so slightly. Still a couple more laps to go. We'll see if Spirit can get even closer and possibly make that pass and take a moto win. Oh, but Spirit's going to make a big mistake and bounce off the track. That's going to cost him some time. Taze in 4th. FTE has made the pass. Ooh, almost big mistake by Taze, getting caught up in that banner. Casing it. Gonna get reset maybe? Yep, sure does. Gonna lose a bunch of time to FTE, and that's gonna allow him to gap him quite a bit, actually. Probably about a second and a half or two, and another mistake. That's more time. KBT, Young Boink. Hey, look at Young Boink. Back in 11th at one point. Now sitting in 5th. So, hard charge by Young Boink. Solid riding. Rowell in 7th, I believe, trying to stay with the pack. Tough moto for Young Boink with that start, but definitely putting on a hard charge to try and get back towards the front. Spirit coming through the finish line, 6.55 seconds, so lost nearly 2 seconds to Omar that lap. Both riders having great motos nonetheless. We're going to take a look back at the battle between Boink and some of the other guys. Looks like KBT's in 5th, and that's Boink in 4th. So, Boink continuing to pick off riders. Moving forward, he's got FTE in his sights, I want to say. Looks like FTE just ahead of Boink. KBT having a solid ride inside that top 5. Super solid ride by KBT. FTE getting reset. That's going to allow Boink to hop into 3rd. FTE inside, KBT outside. Both riders going to go side by side nearly down the straightaway into that uphill triple, throwing a fat scrub. Yamaha City here. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's the way to go. Ooh, KBT's going to get launched off the track, and that's going to allow Taze to roll up and nearly make that pass, but not quite. Who's going to get there? Looks like KBT's going to hold it down. Case that tabletop, both of them. We're going to take a look at Omar still leading the way. I want to try and get to that battle between Young Boink and FTE right now. Brody 10th, having a struggle bus of the race. Young Boink getting reset. FTE slowing down a little bit. I think he slowed down a little bit. Might have taken out Young Boink or messed him up. Just good sportsmanship by FTE if that's what happened. So Omar coming through the line in first, followed by Spirit. 8 seconds back now. Still gapping Spirit and the rest of the field. Every lap, little by little. Knew coming into this race that Omar was going to be nearly impossible to beat. And he's showing how fast he truly is on that 125. So, solid day for Omar so far. Keep it up. He's going to go 1-1 on the day and take that 125 Dream Race overall. But Young Boink now in 3rd. Pretty exceptional race for Young Boink. Only about 6 laps ago or so, he was back in 11th. Charged forward, charged hard, stay focused, and now he's sitting in 3rd. Not sure if he's going to be able to get close enough to Spirit to make that pass and get 2nd. So he's probably going to end up losing that 2nd overall. But overall, hard charge by Boink, way to stay focused and make some passes here in Moto 2. Try and find some battles going on. Spirit just coming through that finish line in 2nd place. Super consistent riding by the Husky rider. And he's actually on MXO Honda, so obviously the riders on the MXO Honda team, MXO Suzuki and MXO Cowie, don't have 125, so they got to pick up a different bike. But Spirit's on that MXO Honda team, having a solid ride, so manager and MXO admin, Tin Man's going to be pretty happy with that ride. Looking solid out in 2nd. Taze, big mistake by FTE. Oh no, it's KBT. Big mistake by KBT, and Taze going to go right around him on the inside. KBT's going to get on that back wheel and launch himself straight into the banner. Omar throwing it over the leap, skying it. Omar Johnson, smooth and steady, ripping it up here. MXO, new MXO Cowie manager aboard that KTM, also a manager of his and his brother's team PVX, Peak Velocity, I believe. So shout out to the MXO Cali manager Omar for ripping it up out here in that #1 position. M Hughes 5th in Moto 1, struggling here in Moto 2. Got some guys ahead of him, so could make some much needed passes, but not much time left in this race, so it's going to be tough to try and make that happen without a couple mistakes out of those guys. Looks like Hughes has got his eyes set on the 7th and 6th place rider. Not exactly who that is yet, but it looks like he's definitely reeling him in. I believe that's Rowell and KBT, so M. Hughes 107, part of that Canadian Blue Crew team. Decked out in that blue riding gear on the KTM, trying to make the pass on Rowell and KVT. Nearly making it happen. Definitely going to be some much needed positions if you can make this pass stick. But it looks like he's going to bounce off the track and lose some time. A lot of time, actually. KVT and Rowell just gained like 2 or 3 seconds after that mistake by Hughes. Ripping through that inside berm. He's just hit the power band coming out of that. Oh yeah. Hughes is one of my MXO Suzuki riders, so good to see him out here in the A-Class ripping it up, trying to catch down Rowell, track down KVT, and make some passes stick. Although KVT is also an MXO Suzuki rider, so good ride for both of these guys. KVT, big mistake. That's going to allow Hughes to get right up in there. Nearly making it stick. On that inside, M. Hughes is going to make the pass on KVT. Move his way into 7th. Next is Rowell. Ooh, but KVT ripping that inside. Nearly making it happen. Omar coming through the finish line. Approaching that final lap. Omar Johnson trying to go 1-1 on the day, but right now we're going to keep looking at this battle for 6th between M. Hughes and Rowell. See how it plays out for about a half a lap longer, and then we'll go check back in with the leader and some of the other guys to see how they're going. Looks like Rowell's opening up a little bit of a gap, so we're going to check out some of these other guys. Brody in 9th, Thug Bobes 10th, Young Boink in 3rd. How far behind is he from Spirit? Doesn't look like Spirit's anywhere in his line of sight, so Boink's still holding down that 3rd. I'm just going to try and keep that position steady. Juicy 11th, 4th is FTE, battling it out with Taze. Spirit in 2nd. Great ride by Spirit. But the man to watch, the guy that we knew coming into this moto was going to be so tough to beat despite the crash that he just had, is Omar Johnson. #1 fastest qualifier last weekend. Coming out here. Throwing some tricks here on the last lap. Omar Johnson, 1-1 on the day. Nobody could stop him. Just too good for everybody. Throwing the no-hander. Omar Johnson's going to go 1-1 and take that overall here in the PS4 A-Class. M. Hughes in 7th. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch Rowell unless a big mistake happens. Tough that we don't have any more laps because it looks like he's got about 3 or 4 guys right in front of him. So it looks like M. Hughes possibly going to go 5-7. Not sure where that's going to put him overall. Brody in 9th. Thug Bobes 10th. We're going to give a rundown of the leaderboards right now. So it's going to be Omar Johnson 1-1. Omar running a 131 here in the race. That's pretty insane. Omar Johnson 1-1. He's going to be your overall champion here in the 125 Dream Race. Junior Spirit's going to go 3-2 and take 2nd overall. Boink's going to go 2-3 after a hard-fought battle here in the 2nd moto. Take 3rd overall. Taze is going to take 4th overall, going 4-4. 5th and 2nd moto is going to be FTE, followed by Rowell. And 6th, M. Hughes is going to be 7th. 8th, KVT. 9th, Brody. Bobes, 10th. And 11th is going to be Juicy J. So that is going to conclude our racing today for the PS4 side of the championship. I just want to say thank you to all the guys, C Class, B Class, and A Class, who signed up and participated today on the PS4 side of the MXvsATV 125 Dream Race, hosted by MXO Sports, presented by Vital MX. We're going to be back here same time tomorrow, 1 Eastern for C Class, 3 Eastern for B Class, and 5 Eastern for A Class on the Xbox side of the championship. So tune in tomorrow here on the MXO Sports YouTube channel for live commentating by me, Jayberg, and some coverage on the Xbox side. Yeah, so thank you to everybody who signed up again and participated on the PS4 side. Thank you to all our partners, and we'll be back here tomorrow. See ya. I also want to mention real quick, for the guys that are still here on this stream, I want to encourage everybody who's still viewing right now to go check out all the sign-ups for our upcoming events, including the Grand Prix and the Tricross. Tricross is going to be next. Grand Prix will be after that. And then we got some Open Cross championships after those two. So go to MXOsports.com, sign up if you can. Love to see everybody out there competing, having fun. So sign-ups are open for all our upcoming events. Be sure to check it out on our website. Thanks, guys.